Howdy. Howdy. All right, I know everybody's got a lot of questions. Big win for our football team, big win for our program. Very excited about that. And so I'll just go right to questions.
Start right up front. Sam, we'll go to Gabe.
I guess what are your biggest takeaways from the performance overall on Saturday?
Well, the first thing is how hard our team played. And, we didn't make every play that we should have made, but you got to give Tennessee some credit for that. They're still a top 10 team. They were top 10 team. So we played a good team, and we came away with a win. But the biggest thing was how hard our kids play. And we're a work in process. And I think Coach Sumlin said this week after week. We got to get better. There's some things that we got to clean up. And there's some things that, as a coach, I got to do much better. So, we're not satisfied with where we are. We're going to go to work and, get this thing better every day and every week.
Here on the right side, Gabe.
Chief, how do you counterbalance the 684 yards allowed, which I know sticks in your craw, but at the same time, 7 takeaways, which is what you've always been about? Your team went out and did that.
Well, there was a big emphasis on that, this week, as there is every week. And I kind of feel today, and when you look at it, like I said, 600 and some yards, I mean, that, that's, I hadn't been there before. And, but we were able to win the football game. And then I look at Arkansas, and listen, Arkansas has shown that they've got an outstanding offense, okay? We give up 370 yards passing against them. I felt pretty much the same. And then this week they throw for 400 on Alabama. We're playing a lot of good offenses and a lot of good teams in this league. If you don't play well, then you can, whether you use the word exposed, you can get in those situations. We don't want to be in those situations. And like I said, we got good players. Again, when we break it down, there's some things that I could have done better last week, and there's some things that I'm going to do better, and then there's some plays that we got to make, and we got to be a better tackling football team. But excited, our kids took the challenge in terms of the takeaways. I mean, that's are you kidding me? That's big. That's big, and they're buying into what we want them to do. So when you look at it this way, you say, okay, Coach, you got some things, and I'm not going to go into detail about the technical things. You got some things you got to get fixed. But the thing we don't have to get fixed is, number one, we got good talent. But more important than that, our guys have a great attitude, and they're willing to go to work, and they will go to work to be better.
Right side in the middle, Ben.
Hey, Coach. Why have the safeties played so well, and what does that do for your defense when they're playing at a high level?
Well, the reason they played so well, because, in my opinion, they're great players. I mean, that's a fact, and we've said that all along. Not just today. We talked about it at the beginning of the season. We talked about our 2 defensive ends and our 2 safeties, and really, that's why I tell you we got good players. There's no question about that, and they're being coached well. Coach Joseph has done a tremendous job with them, but also they have that attitude. I don't know that I've been around 2 kids more competitive than those 2 young men, and all those things are part of it, but it gets back down to talent. You got to have talent to play as well as they're playing, and I think more and more people are starting to see that talent now, and the coaching. Like I said, Coach Joseph has done a tremendous job with them.
Standing in the back left, Colin.
I guess you've touched on it a little bit, but what do you think is the biggest contributing factor to why you guys are leading the nation in forced turnovers so far?
It really is our players buying into it, and it's something we do. It's something we work on, and we work on a lot of things, and right now that's a big bright spot. That can change. But they believe, and I think they have to believe that they're going to be able to get them, and. We got to keep the trend going, because turnovers will turn around ball games for you, bigger than anything else.
Right up front, Brent.
At what point did Colin Gillespie catch your eye as a football player?
The first spring I was here. He's got good talent. He's got a good skill set. He can run. He's tough. Everything that you look for, and I'm proud of what he's doing, but I'm proud of him because it meant so much. And he had talked to me about this, and I never said anything, but he said, Coach, I'm going to be the 12th man one day. And I'm excited to see him excel because of how hard he's worked. And he's a talented young man.
Stay right up front. Sam?
What did it mean for this defense that Miles, obviously not 100%, gave it a go as much as he could on Saturday?
Well, I think it means a lot to the defense, but it speaks volumes of Miles Garrett in terms of who he is. He loves this program. He loves his teammates. And, actually played a little bit more than we anticipated him to play. We were going to use him on third downs. In the two first plays he was in, he got a big tackle, and we got off the field. And the second play he was in, he got the strip fumble, and, that was a big play. And, he made the decision to play a little bit more because when it got down in overtime, he wouldn't come out.
In the middle on the right side, Ben?
Coach, against Tennessee specifically, it looked like y'all were willing to give up more yards after contact in hopes of probably getting a turnover or forced fumble. Is there anything to that, or
No. Yeah, like I said, you got to give Tennessee credit, and you got to give that number 6. He's a special player. They broke some tackles. They did some good things, and they had some things where they schemed us up a little bit. And to be quite honest with you, that goes back to me. And so I don't take me out of the equation when I look at the what Tennessee was doing. There's a lot of factors. The biggest factor is they're a talented football team. We did not have our best day tackling, but that's me. In coaching. And then they did some things from a scheme standpoint that was good versus us. And we won the ball game, so I'm not going to say we got out coached, but they did a good job preparing their team as well.
And on the left side, Cease?
Other than Garrett, Coach, how does this bye week come for some of your players possibly getting your defense getting better by them just getting healthier?
Well, I think everybody, when we say healthy, it's you kind of, it takes a toll, and really, what you got to do, and without going into any details, Coach Sumlin has a great plan. You gotta recover at some point in time. It's been a physical 6 games. There's no question about that, and the body starts getting beat down a little bit, particularly when you played as many snaps as we played Saturday night. And we got to get them rested. We got to get them back up to where they're going to be able to continue to play fast. So I think when you look at the schedule, it doesn't matter who you're playing next, but at this point in time. You've played 6 weeks of football, but before that you had 4 weeks where part of that was very, very physical and very, very demanding, just as demanding as the game, because you have to get that done in fall practice. So it comes at a good time for our football team, and it's well needed. But then the other part of it is you got to make sure that you come off of a bye week, ready to play and that you're sharp.
Here on the right side aisle, Gabe, and then Darryl will wrap us up.
Chief, I want to ask you about Priest Willis. How have you seen him continue to come along? Do you feel like he might be a little underappreciated?
Well, I will say this, in this game, this past game, our corners played as well as they played all year. We didn't have any deep balls. We had passes that were contested and broken up. We did have one interference call. If you're going to be aggressive, sometimes you get those. But, I was excited, not just with Priest, but, Priest was a big part of it. But our corners played well, really well in this past game.
And in the back, Darryl, you wrap us up.
Coach Chavis, what do you guys do on a Saturday of a bye week as a coaching staff? I mean, just what would your schedule be like? You don't have a ball game, but what will you guys do?
I'm going to watch somebody else sweat it out. We'll watch some football, as always, and we'll have a big part of our preparation done, and Coach has set the schedule where we can, actually have Saturday off. We won't come to the office, but and it's good to watch, college football. You don't get to see very much of it, so we'll watch some other coaches sweat it out and get back in here Sunday and continue our game plan.